So just to show you that these Fenders can produce some lovely gainy tonage, I've got this amazing LTD James Hetfield EMG laden piece of filth that I thought I'd demonstrate for you through the Supersonic Twin. Let's use the neck pickup now. Traditionally, a lot of people would tend to use the clean channel and then add an overdrive pedal, as long as it's boutique and really nice, expensive maybe, and adds that kind of subtle flavour that you want. So just to show that functionality, we're using a rock box boiling point here, and we set this to the sort of slightly darker, valvey, saturated state, quite a lot of gain, and we're using the Bassman clean side.
Yes.
So take it away, Mr. Chivers. So we flipped this thing around, which was no easy task.
It's weighty.
And it's weighty. And there's a lot of interesting stuff on the back that Dana's going to tell us about. I think we should probably start with the automatic bias feature, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is brand new Fender patent. This is the first amp that it's appeared on. What this means is, essentially, the power tubes bias themselves. Okay, so if you fit a new pair of power tubes, quite often you will have to take it to your amp tech and get him to bias it for you.
By the way, that noise you're hearing is a huge rainstorm that's just happened outside.
It is. So welcome to sunny Guildford. So as we've just seen there, Chappers, when the amp fires up, each of the power tubes are checked. It checks the biasing, and we're all green, we're all good. If one of your tubes should happen to lose bias or is starting to lose power or go down, it will go amber and it will tell you. And it will tell you which one it is, so you don't have to guess or check. It will tell you which one.
That is such a labour-saving device.
It is, and if one goes down completely, it will go red, so at least if you're playing, you can take the 2 power tubes out. And it will shut down the other one to the one that's broken.
That's amazing.
So you can put mismatched tubes in and it will bias it all for you.
Awesome. So how does it work? I mean, do you have to do anything to it?
Nope, you don't have to do anything. It's all completely automatic. So if you buy a couple of new power tubes, slot them in, and it will automatically bias.
You just turn it on and it just starts to, it runs the bias sequence and it eventually goes green and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you can stick a dodgy one in.
And what's the adjust for?
You can run it warm, normal, or cool. So if you take the bias,
it's like an aircon system, isn't it?
It is very much like it. Yeah. So what you can do is, if you want it spanking maximum headroom, vintage blackface clean, you run it cool, so it gives you more headroom.
So you could add more gain.
Yes. So if you want to crunch it, you warm it up, it will run a higher voltage across the plate of the power tubes.
Wow.
You'll get more distortion and it will break up earlier.
Wow.
Without taking it to an amp tech and saying, I want this to break up earlier, or I want more clean headroom.
Wow.
So it's a real, not only is it a time and money saving device, it also allows you to tonally tweak the overall sound of the amp. And the damping control controls how the power section, how the power tubes react with the speakers. Everything that we've done today has been set to normal.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want more, kind of more flap on the speaker, which gives you a more vintage kind of bottom end. Yeah, like power tube compression, sag, you set it to loose. If you want a real ultra modern, more metal kind of bottom end, a real tight bottom end if you down tune, you just set it to tight.
Wow.
So that, the damping control along with the biasing, really allows you to fine tune the overall tonality.
Is there anything Fender don't think of?
It's pretty good, isn't it? It's certainly versatile. Versatile.
It's nicetile.
It's nicetile and versatile. So, as you can see here, we have a proper parallel effects loop, which splits your signal, send and return, so you have a send level and a return level, allows you to blend the effects in with the dry signal. And we also have a series effects loop here, which is a preamp out, power amp in.
Wow.
So it gives you complete control. You can do whatever you want. Patch your delay units or your nice choruses, whatever you want in there.
And is this foot switchable?
It is, yes, it is. It says effects there. On
awesome.
The end of, absolutely. What you can also do, and here's an interesting point, if you want, you can just, as we say, jump the send and return, put a lead between those, use the send and return level as a boost, and then when you hit the effects button, it gives you a kick up.
That's a great idea, really good.
So you could have the clean channel, nice and clean, and then tread on your effects loop, and you get like your crunchy bass, for instance. And then also a lead boost on the lead channel as well.
We should probably talk about the pedal actually, because it's quite smart. So I guess the first thing to say is that it looks like it's made out of a tank.
It is
part tank.
It is fully metal with rubberized ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got obviously effects, reverb, normal, fat, and vintage burn.
Yeah.
So vintage burn is
that just changes from our vintage clean channel to the high gain channel.
Yeah.
And normal or fat is for the clean channel. So normal is like a twin, and fat is like a bassman.
Okay.
And then we can switch the tube-driven reverb on and off, and either switch in and out effects or use that as a boost.
And finally, all of this is to no avail unless you can project it through some speakers.
Absolutely.
What have we got loaded here?
We have Celestion G12 Vintage 30s, which are some of my favourite speakers. And they'll stay clean, but when they do start to break up, they break up in a really nice, warm, organic kind of way. Yeah.
Awesome.
One of my favourites.
And a couple of little legs here,
Yeah.
just in case you want to
Tilt
attack
back.
somebody or tilt back.
It looks a little bit like an angry robot.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Tell me, how much does this Wandering Wood cost?
Well, I do believe if you pop down to Anderton's Musical Superstore in Guildford, it will cost you around about £1,367.
That is a billy bargain for what you're getting.
It is. It's a lot of amp. We like to think it will do just about anything.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you're playing in a death metal band, but anything from pop, country, funk, blues, jazz, through to classic rock, and more modern high gain styles. It'll do it all.
I have, sorry, carry on.
Either loud, 100 watts, or smaller in a club.
I have a cool story about a Fender Twin that I used to own. This is a true story. My singer said, "Chappers, I'll help you carry that amplifier." You know, and I thought, awesome, a bit of help, gig, down a couple of flights of stairs, and it's a Fender Twin. And he fumbled and dropped it down both flights of stairs, and it kind of went, bah, 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 bah. And I thought, that's it, gig's off. And ran downstairs, beat Tom up, picked the amp up, and it didn't look like it had any damage on it, a little bit of a bent grow cloth. Stuck it on the table, cranked it up, not a thing wrong with it.
And it worked.
Thank you, Fender.
And we're just reenacting that outside now.
That was Thor in approval of Fender.
Yes. Built like a tank.